Welcome to the deep dive. We dig into fascinating sources to pull out, the core ideas and turn them into real insights you can use right away.
That's the goal.
And today, we're tackling something big. We're looking for a solid, simple way to, achieve financial abundance. We found a source that claims it has just that roadmap.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. We're looking at sources that basically argue the real fix for money problems, the lasting one anyway, isn't about working harder or like finding some secret investment trick.
Right.
It's about thinking differently. That's the core finding, really, that whether you have plenty or you're always struggling, it comes down to your mindset.
And that mindset, it's not set in stone. It's like a program, right? Made of thoughts.
Exactly, which means you can change it. Uninstall the old one, write a new one.
So our mission today is to unpack this new 21-day blueprint. It's supposed to be full of these wealth-attracting habits designed to shift that scarcity thinking, like compressing a year's worth of figuring things out into just 3 weeks.
Right. And if you look at where that scarcity thinking comes from, the sources say it's often not, malicious. It's usually programming from parents who meant well, or just society in general.
Those messages like money doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah, or you got to work hard for every penny.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes this like background program running your whole financial life. So changing that deep program, that's step one. And since thoughts created it, you got to use thoughts to undo it. Dedicated, conscious thought.
Okay, so let's start right there, section 1. The mindset shift itself. The sources talk about different financial realities. How exactly do they define this wealth mindset? And why is it supposedly the only way to have enough money consistently?
Well, the definition is pretty stark. A lack mindset, just by its nature, it attracts situations that confirm lack. So if you're always worrying about bills, always seeing problems, thinking the world's against you.
The universe just kind of gives you more of that.
Yeah, that's the idea. Yeah, it matches the frequency. But a wealth mindset, that's a state where you just fundamentally believe money flows to you. Like, easily, constantly.
So instead of chasing it, you become a magnet for it.
Exactly. That's a good way to put it. And the sources are really clear. This path is the same for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're dealing with a real poverty mindset, where debt just feels inevitable.
Or that other one you mentioned, the just enough mindset.
Right. Which can be sneakier, actually.
Yeah, I think that's really important. What does that look like? The just enough trap. What are the signs?
Oh, it's usually cyclical.
Yeah.
And frustrating. It's the person who always gets a tax refund or maybe a bonus, but then boom, something comes up. An expense that costs pretty much exactly what came in.
Right, the car repair that matches the bonus, exactly. Or the roof leak that eats the insurance check.
Precisely. You're attracting money, sure, but your unconscious program has put a ceiling on it. You break even, maybe, but you never build that, that surplus, the thing that lets you grow or gives you real freedom long term.
So whether the setting is zero balance or just enough to scrape by, it's the same root problem, a belief system based on scarcity.
Exactly. And the fix is practice, dedication, and thought management. The sources really hammer this home. They're not asking you to wear yourself out physically.
Right, not asking you to go out and dig trenches or get a third job, as the author says.
Yeah. All the work, the heavy lifting, it's mental. You've got to train your mind to stop focusing on what is and start focusing on what you want.
Okay, so that brings us to the first, practical step. What do we do today? If thoughts are the gatekeepers, how do we start managing them?
It's about being vigilant. Right away, you have to become the guard at the gate of your own mind the second a lackful thought pops up.
I can't afford that, or money's tight.
Yeah, any of those, you have to stop it immediately before it settles in, like pulling a weed the moment you see it sprout.
And what do you replace it with? Because panic is pretty instinctive when you see a big bill, right?
You deliberately swap it. Replace the scarcity thought with one about prosperity, abundance, ease. The sources actually encourage using, like make-believe or pretend.
Really?
Yeah. So if you see something nice but pricey and your gut says can't afford it, you consciously switch the script in your head to, oh, I can totally afford that. I could buy 3 if I wanted. You're overriding the old message with a new one, even if it feels fake at first. The mind, apparently, doesn't really know the difference between real and vividly imagined. Consistency is key. That's what starts the reprogramming.
Okay, but I want to push back on this a bit, based on something a listener asked. It kind of complicates the whole flow and giving idea. What about the wealthy but really tight mother-in-law? This person is the richest person the listener knows, super successful, but famous for not giving. Promises to pay but doesn't, hoards money. If giving is so important for getting rid of a lack mindset, how is she still a money magnet?
That's a fantastic question. Really crucial. And the sources dig into this. The analysis is basically this, that mother-in-law already has an incredibly solid wealth mindset. It's rare, but she's got it.
So money just sticks to her.
Pretty much. It flows to her and it stays.
Ah,
Because her core belief deep down isn't fear. It's infinite replenishment.
so when she hoards or doesn't pay, it's not coming from a fear of running out like it would for someone who's struggling.
Exactly. For her, those actions, they don't really matter to her underlying wealth consciousness. She doesn't need to practice giving to fix her mindset because her mindset isn't broken. It's already set to wealth. Her feeling isn't scarcity, it's certainty. Like she feels entitled to value and assumes it will always show up, which from the outside can look tight or selfish, maybe. But her internal program isn't running fear of poverty.
Wow, okay. That's a huge difference. So the idea of letting money flow through you, the giving practice, that's mainly for those of us trying to dismantle the lack mindset.
Precisely. When someone with a lack mindset hoards, they're clinging on thinking, there isn't enough coming. When the wealthy mother-in-law does it, her internal vibe is, I have so much, and more is always on the way.
Got it.
So the takeaway for the listener is crystal clear. Don't worry about her actions. Don't try to figure out or change her. Focus only on your mindset. Because the minute you genuinely shift to a wealth mindset, your whole reality changes. You won't even attract situations where you're focused on what she's doing anymore.
Okay, let's shift gears then into the how-to. The source talks about this countdown to riches, the 21-day blueprint. Now, the author apparently took about a year of trial and error to really shift her own mindset from poverty to wealth.
Right.
So the point of this blueprint is to shrink that timeline.
Yeah, basically, it's the distilled essence of that whole year of experimenting. 21 days of really focused, concentrated habits that attract wealth. The author apparently tried a ton of stuff that just didn't work before landing on these specific techniques.
So it's meant to be like a shortcut. Simple, proven, easy to adopt.
That's the promise. A quick but deep reprogramming tool.
Okay, but I have to ask again, she took a year, but the blueprint is 21 days. How does that work? Is 21 days realistic, or is it just like a catchy title?
That's fair. It's a good question. The sources explain it like this. The 21 days are the kickstart. It's based on that idea that it takes about 21 days of doing something consistently to start building a new habit, a new neural pathway.
Oh, okay.
Her year was spent finding the techniques. Now, the discovery part is done. So the 21 days are the intense training period needed to make these core practices feel natural, automatic, like habits.
So they stick long term.
Exactly, ensuring you keep thriving. The promise isn't, instant millions on day 22. It's that the emotional and energetic foundation for wealth will be solidly built by then.
That makes more sense. It's like boot camp for an abundance mindset. So tell us about the structure. It's supposed to be enjoyable, right? Not like homework.
Yeah, making it accessible was apparently a big goal. The book itself is described as absolutely effortless to read, joyful, designed so it doesn't feel like a chore, which can be a huge barrier when you're trying to change. And importantly, the sources mention audio resources too.
Right, the audio affirmations. That sounds unique.
It is pretty key. The physical book apparently comes with access to hundreds of these affirmations, spoken by the author herself. And the audiobook version, it's got her voice in like over 11 languages.
Wow.
Which is important because the source stresses that hearing the affirmations spoken with the right energy, that feeling of total belief, is often way more powerful than just reading them silently.
Takes the pressure off having to fake it till you make it yourself, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. You just absorb the right energetic vibe.
So it's about immersion. Given it's based on her year of trying things, how does the blueprint actually flow? Does it ease you in with gratitude, or do you jump right into the big techniques?
It seems like it's pretty much immediate. You adopt the most powerful habits quickly. The first few days definitely reinforce managing your thoughts and getting gratitude right. But the really big guns, like this boomerang effect and the million-dollar check feeling, they come in fast. Because those are the things that create the biggest, quickest emotional shifts.
So dedication is key.
Absolutely paramount. A few months of really cementing these practices as habits, that's the investment required to, avoid a whole lifetime of financial stress and lack.
Okay, let's dive into the mechanics of these core techniques, the powerhouse practices. First up, practice 1, the boomerang effect. It's a visualization thing based on that law of attraction idea. What you send out comes back.
Right.
Especially with strong emotion.
Exactly. And the author's own story about this is pretty wild because she was apparently totally broke when she did it, like rock bottom. But she decided to act abundant, even though it seemed crazy.
She took money out on a credit card, which sounds like a lack move usually.
Right. But she did it specifically to give it away.
On Chapel Street in Melbourne, yeah.
Yeah.
Busy place. Good for visualizing.
Yeah. Now, physically, she only gave away $40 to just 2 people.
Mm.
But the real work was mental. While she walked, she looked at every single person she saw, sometimes 5 people at once, and she imagined handing each one a $100 bill.
Wow.
And the feeling was crucial. It wasn't pity. It was this like powerful, joyful feeling of wanting to give, wanting to spread abundance. She was mentally operating from a place of having unlimited supply.
That feeling infinite supply versus feeling like you're making a sacrifice, that's the game changer, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's the difference between manifesting more and just creating more debt. Her emotional vibe was, I have so much. Giving away $100 bills is easy and fun. The actual $40 was just like the trigger.
Yeah, and the result.
Within 48 hours, she manifested $25,000 from somewhere totally unexpected, apparently.
Bro.
And then another $10,000 the next day. So $35,000 total. That's a pretty massive return on $40 and some focused visualization.
Okay, so for someone listening who wants to do this every day, what's the actual practice? How many people? What are the specifics?
The sources are very specific. Daily, you visualize giving money away to strangers.
Yeah.
And the details need to be vivid. Imagine holding a big, thick stack of $100 bills. And critically, you also have to imagine your pockets, your bag, whatever, are also stuffed with more $100. The visualization has to confirm you cannot run out.
Got it.
Then, as you see people really look at their faces and genuinely imagine handing each one a crisp $100 bill.
And is there a minimum number?
Yep, minimum target is 40 people a day. And here's a really important detail. Do the practice all at one concentrated time.
Not just like 10 people here and there throughout the day.
No. The sources say doing it sporadically dilutes the emotional power. Doing it in one focused session deepens the feeling, the energetic signal you're sending out. That's what the law of attraction picks up on and multiplies.
So maybe 40 in the morning, 40 in the evening, but each is a solid block of practice.
Exactly. And the more you want that financial shift, the more vital this focused practice becomes.
Okay, practice 2. This one targets that just enough mindset where you never quite get ahead. The fix is gratitude, but like extreme gratitude. The $1 million check gratitude. Why isn't just saying thanks enough?
Well, the author's blunt about it. Gratitude dissolves everything, she says. It's the ultimate problem solver. But most people who say they're grateful, well, they're just not grateful enough.
It's just words. Intellectual gratitude.
Yeah, like a checklist item. To really change your finances, the gratitude has to be felt deeply. It needs to match the energetic frequency of, like, massive relief.
So define that depth for us. What's the $1 million check scenario? What does that level of relief actually feel like?
Okay, the scenario is, imagine someone you know, totally out of the blue, gives you a check for $1 million.
Wow.
And it's specifically to get you stable, clear your debts, get you on your feet. In that one moment, holding that check, you have absolute financial freedom. All the worry, the fear, the mental chatter about money, gone. Instantly.
It's like finding out a serious health issue just vanished overnight, or that feeling when you meet the one and you just know. Total clarity.
Precisely. That feeling, 100% certainty, total relief, that's the level you need. And you have to apply that feeling, that $1 million level of gratitude, not just to the imaginary check, but to your actual goals right now, your savings target, the money you already have.
Okay, but how do you generate that feeling when you're staring at like $50 in your account? That gap between reality and the feeling seems huge.
Yeah, that's the challenge. And this is where visualization has to get, well, aggressive, both mentally and physically. The sources suggest specific tricks to bridge that gap. After you visualize getting the check and really feel that total relief, you immediately attach that feeling to a specific current goal. Say you want $5,000 in savings. You picture your bank statement showing $5,000, and you flood that image with the $1 million relief feeling.
So the relief has to feel so real
that you could literally tear up your current bills and just laugh, because you know they don't matter anymore. It takes serious mental discipline to force the feeling initially, but that emotional force is what supposedly creates the new reality.
Okay, we have the tools now, but actually using them runs into real life, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about the specific roadblocks listeners mention, negative partners, that desperation from childhood, hating your job. How do the sources suggest tackling these things?
Right, these hurdles, they're exactly what this 21-day plan is meant to help you navigate. Let's start with the partner thing. Big one. What if you're doing all this abundance work, but your spouse is totally stuck in lack, really negative, always worrying?
The source is pretty blunt on this one, isn't it? You are not your partner.
Yeah. Unequivocal. You attract based on your thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
Period.
So you can still attract money even if they're negative.
That's the message. And it's incredibly empowering, really. You can attract heaps of money just for you, regardless of how they feel or what energy they're putting out. Your job isn't to convince them or argue or change them.
Which never works anyway.
Right. Usually just drags you down. Your only job is to keep your focus sharp and be the living proof. Let them see money flowing to you easily. The universe will figure out the rest, apparently. Focus on yourself. Be the example.
Okay. Next hurdle. That deep-seated desperation. Listeners who grew up working class, always seeing parents struggle just to make ends meet, never getting ahead. That feeling is ingrained. How do you shift that?
This is where the sources offer a really interesting reframe. That desperation, yeah, it feels awful, but it also creates an incredibly deep desire. And the law of attraction apparently loves that. It sees it as a huge energy source, like a fire. So the desperation itself isn't the block. The block is how you interpret it, believing it means I'll never have enough.
So you don't try to put the fire out, you redirect its energy.
Exactly. You acknowledge how strong the desire is, the desperation, but then you immediately use that energy to fuel the reprogramming. From never enough to more than enough. The 21-day blueprint is designed specifically for this, to collapse the time it takes to make that switch. Your intense need becomes intense manifesting power once you flip the story you tell yourself about it.
Okay, let's talk jobs. The listener stuck in a job they hate, maybe working fast food, like Subway, while trying really hard to manifest a dream marketing job. But the hate for the current job is just overwhelming.
Yeah, and the sources lay down a hard rule here. You can't hate your current job and have something better manifest. Full stop.
Wow.
That feeling, hate, especially if it's strong and you voice it a lot, it acts like superglue. It literally locks you into the situation you despise. All the energy you spend complaining, feeling resentful, that's energy actively blocking the better job from showing up. The vibe just doesn't match.
So you don't necessarily quit right away. You have to change how you feel about the current job first. How on earth do you do that?
You have to kill the hate by finding genuine gratitude. You got to dig deep and find anything you can appreciate about the job you hate. The forces suggest a structured approach.
Okay.
Like list 10 things you really dislike. Then, for each one, force yourself to find a gratitude flip.
Give me an example if you hate the pay.
Be grateful that the pay, even if it's low, means you have a roof over your head this month. If you hate your annoying coworker, be grateful you only have to see them 3 days a week, or be grateful the situation is teaching you patience or something.
You have to actively milk gratitude from it.
Yeah. That's the phrase used. You have to squeeze out every drop. Only when you neutralize that hate frequency and replace it with genuine appreciation, even for small things, do new opportunities start to open up. It clears the energetic path.
All right, financial dread. Lots of people avoid looking at bank balances, dread opening bills. Just fear, maybe lack of financial know-how. How do they tackle that avoidance and the anxiety?
Financial dread is pure lack thinking showing up as avoidance. The advice is kind of a triple threat approach. First, you got to hit those two main practices hard, the Boomerang Effect daily and crank up your gratitude about money to that $1 million check level, like immediately.
Okay.
Second, about the balance itself, you use visualization to override what you see.
Visualizing a specific number you want.
Yeah, but one that feels believable to you, even if it's a stretch. And the source suggests some pretty hands-on mental tricks, like print out your actual depressing bank statement. Then get a thick marker and physically write your desired abundant number right over the current balance. Seriously. Then you stare at that number you wrote daily, and you flood it with that $1 million gratitude feeling. It's about convincing your subconscious that the desired number is already real.
And is there a simple affirmation for this?
Yep. The author gives this one. Money comes to me effortlessly and easily. Repeating that constantly helps fight that deep belief that money has to be hard-earned through struggle.
Okay, last one. This practical, the family situation. Lito from Cyprus mentioned this, having to talk about money shortages every month just to budget and get by. He knows it reinforces lack, but what can you do?
Yeah, Lito's totally right. What you focus on extends. The technique here is about deliberate override. Measure how much time you spend talking about lack, say it's 30 minutes discussing bills.
Yeah.
Then you must spend double that time, so a full hour, doing a rampage of prosperity and abundance.
An hour of just, like, joyful imagining.
Exactly. You overpower the lack talk time with abundance talk time. And during that hour, you talk as if money is absolutely no object. Plan dream vacations out loud, talk about the houses you'll buy, the charities you'll support. You're basically flooding the scarcity energy with abundance.
But what if the bill discussion itself is just unavoidable? You still have to figure out how to pay them?
Right. So there's another mental trick for that moment. You use your imagination. Pretend you have a secret stash, like $1 million hidden away in an account nobody knows about.
Huh.
So when you sit down for that bill talk, yeah, you go through the motions. But internally, you're completely calm. You're thinking, oh, this bill's $500. No big deal. I've got a secret million stashed. The law of attraction, remember, responds to your feeling, your energy. Right. It doesn't know or care if the million is real yet. So you use that feeling of secret security to neutralize the stress of the current bills. Hashtag tag outro.
Wow, okay. This has been incredibly detailed. So many practical things to try. Let's try and boil it down. What are the absolute core things the listener needs to take away and maybe start doing, like today, to move from scarcity to abundance?
Okay, 3 main pillars, I think. First, it's the foundation.
Yeah.
Mindset change. The sources just keep coming back to this, getting that wealth mindset, truly believing in infinite supply. That's the only path to consistent plenty. And understanding that weird money behaviors are usually scarcity screaming, not abundance.
Right. Mindset first. Second.
The depth of feeling. Practice gratitude, yes, but at that $1 million check level, that feeling of total 100% relief, like your biggest problem just vanished. That's the emotional frequency you need to hit to dissolve fear around money.
Got it. Deep gratitude. And third?
Immediate action.
Yeah.
Do the Boomerang Effect practice daily. Make it that concentrated session, visualizing giving away those $100 bills to at least 40 people, really feeling that joyful, positive energy, because that's what the universe supposedly multiplies back to you.
Okay. Mindset, $1 million gratitude, boomerang effect. And the ultimate goal here is getting past that weird cultural fear about wanting money, right? That fear of being seen as greedy.
Exactly. And that fear comes from not understanding your own worth. The source material says you need to realize the living being inside of you is worth more than all the riches on this planet.
More than all the riches.
Yeah, you're priceless. So asking for abundance isn't greedy. It's just aligning your outside world with your inherent infinite value.
Okay, so knowing your intrinsic worth is infinite. Here's our final thought for you, the listener, to maybe chew on today. If deep scarcity often shows up as fear or weirdness around money, and true prosperity is actually your birthright, what's one specific thing you could do today, right now, that reflects not what's in your bank account, but the incredible, priceless worth of you? How would you act just in the next hour if you knew deep down you were already infinitely wealthy?
Something to think about.
Definitely. Think on that, and we'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.